Hello fellow Chimerian Slamber here, welcome to another Fortnite video, where I'm now going to explain the full story of Fortnite Chapter 4 Season 3 Wilds. So strap in and let's get started. After reuniting the Syndicates and finding out that Dahlia, Styx, and Triad Nox, former members of the Unseen Syndicate, were working with the Last Reality, they were now considered traitors to their leader Highwire and her right-hand man Renzo the Destroyer, and now they're being hunted down as we speak. With that, we discovered mysterious evacuation camps that belonged to an organization called the Merdenians. We then found out they were studying about mysterious vines and cracks, not to mention earthquakes that appeared upon the island. After a final earthquake hit, we then discovered there was a jungle below it. After exploring the jungle, we then got a mission from no other than Aura, who wants us to find mysterious notes about the Chalice of Catastrophe. After finding the first note, we then discovered that it was with no other than the former Imagined Order soldier, Dr. Sloan, who decided to cut ties with the Imagined Order ever since the events of Fortnite Chapter 3 Season 2, the Collision event. We then discovered an audio log from Dr. Sloan explaining to what really happened after the events of Chapter 3 Season 2 when the collision event happened. Apparently she was trapped underground and she somehow survived, because she said it would take more than just using the mech's arm to kill her, which is kind of true to be honest. After finding more and more about the notes of the Chalice, we then discovered that the Chalice's power can even level the island. We then found a description of the Chalice that belonged to no other than the Last Reality. After finding the notes and giving it to Aura, she wants us to find glyphs that can find the Chalice's location. After finding the glyphs, she found out the Chalice's location is in the outskirts of Creaky Compound. After finding the temple and find the Chalice, it was discovered that the Chalice is no other than the Golden Chalice of Queen Olia, the same in Marigold, the Golden Touch Curse. After letting Olia possess us and get into Aura, we then find out that she's going to put her in a golden fort because she doesn't want anyone to find out where she is, which was a good sign. After that situation, we then discovered a radio transmission from Optimus Prime by playing radio inside the vehicles. We then discovered that Optimus is telling us to leave the island because apparently that the reality is doomed to collapse. But he told us that hope is not lost yet, that we must fight it in order to save it. After finding more and more of Sloan's audio logs, we then discovered that she was trying to find out more the secrets of the temples, and she tries to find out if these people were trying to leave her something so she can find out about it. And then after discovering more and more about it, we discovered that there is a stellar projector called the Apparatus. And after finding a mysterious prism from it, we discovered that apparently that these prisms can reflect light from one of Sloan's audio logs. He gave the prism to a person known as Trace, a member of the Luminary Syndicate. After giving it to him, he then told us there was more and more of these things scattered upon the island. After Trace telling us that, we then got answers about the Chalice Catastrophe from Aura. She explained that apparently that someone altered the Chalice and gave it power, which would explain why Marigold and Midas have the Golden Touch Curse. Someone altered the Chalice and gave it very dangerous power. After that, we then got another radio transmission from Optimus, who explained that apparently he was contacted by Dr. Sloan. He said she may not be a likable ally. I mean, she did try to kill us. But he trusts her, and we should trust her now. He then said that she knows the way forward, which means we might be able to help her with her research about the apparatus. We then discovered the prison's location is at Rumble Ruins. After finding it, we then discovered another message from Optimus in the form of a 0-point shard at the Autobots mural, below Rumble Ruins. Optimus then introduces himself. He then explains that apparently from dire news, that the power that flows to the island is fading, and our old enemies have taken notice. aka the last reality. But he says that we must fight on for our future, and we cannot allow our enemies to take it from us. That would mean we had to help Sloane and Trace with the project of the apparatus. After giving the prism to Trace, we discovered that these prisms are lenses that can able to help us with the activate the apparatus, which means Sloane's theory is true, that these things can reflect light. After finding another transmission from Optimus, he says that the people who left this jungle behind know how to study the stars, which means they used the apparatus before. And it can help us with what's coming. We then discovered the third piece of the prism of the apparatus. Is at the same temple where Sloane was. After finding it, we then gave it to Trace, who then told us a very cryptic thing. He told us that the prisms are attracted to us, which was very strange. He found it really odd too, that mysterious objects that we have never seen before are attracted to us. We then got another message from Optimus, who explains that apparently that the past in the future, that we must fight for our future as soon as possible. That the past in the future must be protected. And apparently that we must fight on for our future. He told us to fight and roll out. We then discovered the fourth piece of the apparatus, such as the prism, for example. It was no other than back at Rumble Ruins' deep caves. After finding it and giving it to Trace, he then told us it was the final piece of the apparatus that we just found. But after that adventure of getting all the pieces, we then got a mission from no other than Triggerfish. After doing some errands from him and getting ammo and hitting damaging players, he then told us a mission that we must do. He told us that we should find the location of no other of the coral buddies, the same ones back in chapter 2. It was mysterious even that we can find them and find what happened to them. We should find Princess Brine in order to give us the location of where they were last seen. After finding a small island and taking coral samples and told about this to Triggerfish, he then found the location where the coral buddies are. It was with some people named Turk and Riptide. After talking to them, they said they haven't seen them before and we should forget about them. That who cares about the coral buddies? After talking to Triggerfish about this, he told us that apparently something is definitely up about those two. That apparently Riptide's always been such a rude man. And Turk has always been nice, but still bad in his own way. After practicing shots, we were able to be ready to take them on. After battling either Turk or Riptide, sorry I had the burp there, we then found out where the core buddies were. They were inside a cave where they were. After rescuing the core buddies, we then head back to Triggerfish, and he was happy that we found them. Very delighted to call us, well, Looper, instead of just a soldier. Then we got a mission from no other than Dr. Sloane, which apparently also requires us to power up the apparatus. But then we found out more and more audio logs from her. Apparently, she was trying to have the explorers, aka Lorenzo and the others, to vacate the area so she can continue her research. But then she decided to cooperate with them, like help them with their research of discovering the island since they have something in common. So apparently, it was revealed that the explorers were helping Sloane with her research about the apparatus and about the temples around the island. We then found out that the mission that Sloane gave us was apparently to find schematics of the kinetic aura back in chapter 4, season 1. Which means is that we had to go back to find the schematics of the rift gates cosmetics. After finding it, we then discovered it was guarded by someone named Stingray inside of a maze below Lonely Labs. After getting through the maze, getting the schematics, and getting out of there before Stingray kills us, then gave it to Sloan, who apparently told us that we were the 10th gunman she hired because the other 9 were killed by Stingray. So yeah, it was not fun. She then wants us to activate the terminal at no other at Stellan's tower where the Riftgate happened. After doing so, we then discovered that the refined kinetic ore wasn't refined. We then also found a log from Sloan. Apparently she was studying the Riftgate, and about how something about it was off. We then find more and more audio logs from Sloan that apparently revealed about a mysterious eclipse that is coming, that she said it was logically impossible, even though she said that her being alive was actually impossible. So, to find more of Sloan's audio logs and gave her the schematics, she then told us to activate the apparatus without them knowing, since Trace trusts us and will not be a suspect of us, because it was revealed on Sloan, if she tried, she'll be suspected from the others, which is quite true, to be honest. After activating the apparatus, we then discovered a star chart in the sky revealed about the upcoming eclipse of a star calendar. Sloan then wants us to do a Simon Says thing. After doing that, we did it. We were able to now activate the power up it, and we then discovered that the so-called eclipse is the key to our survival against the last reality. We must able to wait when the eclipse fully comes. So yeah, that was the entire story of Chapter 4, Season 3, Wilds. It was a very fun ride, and when Season 4 coming this way on August 25th, let's just say it's going to be an exciting new step. So anyways, thank you all so much for watching this video. Comment down below what your favorite things to do with Fortnite, creativity, battling players, what you guys do. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you won't miss any videos from me. And I'll see all of you in the next video. Bye!